Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry my uploads are going to be kind of crazy this week. My Wi-Fi went out and I have no idea why. So it should be back tomorrow, which is Thursday. So if you're watching this, it's back. Because it's been pretty crazy without internet. But I've been doing a lot of reading and I have another book that I want to do a book review on, so that's 2 books now. Anyway, I'm going to upload a video on Thursday, provided the internet's back, and probably one on Saturday to keep my 2 uploads, and then the next week it'll go back to Tuesday, Friday, so fingers crossed that I get my internet back tomorrow. But anyway, today I wanted to do a tag video since it's been a little while since I've done one, and this one seems kind of fun. And it's called my first tag, or my first time tag. I'm not sure of the title exactly, but when I used my brother's hotspot on his phone, I screenshotted the questions and kept them on my iPad, so that's why I'll be looking down. I don't remember. I mean, because before this, I had a YouTube channel, another YouTube channel, but I don't go on that one anymore, and I recreated a new one, or I created a new one. But probably the first one I ever watched was... First one I ever watched, let's see, probably one of something to do with the Duggars, the Duggar videos. That's when I first got interested in YouTube and watching videos and stuff. So that's probably one of the first videos I watched, was something to do with the Duggars, because it was around the time when they were still doing their specials and didn't have a weekly show. Next, it was probably either Brittany or my friend Charisse. And I'll link both of their channels down below. No. This one's a little bit awkward because I really have never had like a first kiss before. Yes, I'm almost 26 and never had a first kiss. My first love did kiss me on the forehead one time. But that was like a quick, and it's a long story, but really I don't even consider that a first kiss. Like a true first kiss? No, I've never had one. And I know it seems kind of odd being almost 26 and not having a first kiss, but I've never had any alcoholic drinks actually, for personal preference, and because now with my bladder issue, my bladder disease, if I were to drink any alcoholic beverages, it would put me in the hospital for a while, so I'll be staying away from the alcohol. I actually have never had a car of my own, because at this time I can't drive. It cost a lot of money to get specially modified vehicle and everything. But I do remember when I got my very first power chair, and my first manual chair for that matter, the one that was actually made for me. But when I got my first power chair, I was 14, and it was just after Christmas break and my freshman year of high school. Never had a job, because when I was in high school, my main focus was school, and with all the workload I had, there was no way I could hold down a job and go to school and all that too, because I had a terrible amount of work to do. And so I didn't have a job in high school or anything like that. And now after high school is when I really started having to deal with my bladder issues. So I don't have a job now. One day I'd like to get a job and I want to be a teacher, but with my health right now that's not possible. But one day I'd love to be a teacher. I've had many pets over the years. And for as long as I can remember, really. But the very first one I remember was a pet bird, and I don't remember much about it. I was about 3, but I remember it being, either I remember it being this way or I remember being told it was this way. But I remember a gray little bird, and for some reason I named him Homie. I have no idea why. But he died, I think right before I turned 4, but I've had many other pets since then. Probably Kitty Chesney. I had a major obsession with him when I was about 13, 14 years old, and I got really mad when he got married, and then I said, okay, I don't like him anymore. I don't know, crazy teenage stuff. I've never had one. Crush, yes. Real boyfriend, no. Well, considering my internet's down, nobody, but if I hadn't had internet, Brittany and I would have been messaging each other on Facebook Messenger constantly throughout the day. Miss Roberts, I'll never forget her, and I remember the end of first grade year, I didn't understand the concept of, even though you're leaving a teacher's classroom, you're still gonna see them again. But they're not gonna be your teacher anymore, but you're still gonna see them again. And I loved her to death, and you know, and I was so upset leaving her class. I thought I was never ever gonna see her again. I cried so much. I thought I was never gonna see her again. But there was a lot of fun memories from her class. Well, if you don't count, let's see. If you don't count staying at like an aunt's house or my brother's house, because he had kids around my age, because we're 21 years apart, it was probably the preacher's daughter at a church I used to go to. We were really close friends, and she had a couple of sleepovers, and I went. Well, I slept most of the day, but when I woke up, the first thing I did was go to the bathroom, of course, because my bladder constantly keeps me going. But after that, took my medicine. It was at a theme park, and I was probably I was a freshman in high school, and it was the Beach Boys. And I have to admit, it was pretty awesome. And after that, I've never actually been to a concert venue where it's not inside a theme park. So, but after that I went to 2 Billy Ray Cyrus concerts, and that's all the concerts I've been to. Oh wow. Actually, that wasn't until about 5 years ago, because I actually had never broken them. I'd sprained a lot of like ligaments and stuff in my hand, and sprained, you know, muscles and stuff, and in my leg, but I'd never actually broken anything until summer of 2010, when I fell getting out of my chair to go to the bathroom, and I fell on the side of my foot and broke my toe. Now this is a good one, because where I live, the movie theaters aren't accessible. If you want to go to an accessible one, you have to travel. Their definition of accessible is literally having a place for the wheelchair right up front where you have to look up at the screen and break your neck the whole time, and I don't want to sit through that. But there was one theater here, but it shut down. I have no idea why, but the very first one I ever went to see was, I was in the 5th grade with my entire class, and it was the Jimmy Neutron movie. And that theater was perfect. It had where all the seats were on level, and you just, you know, walk down to the seats you wanted, but it was on level floor. But the problem was the bathroom wasn't accessible. And then there was another theater where the bathroom was accessible, but you had to sit down front and break your neck. So I could probably tell you every movie I've ever seen. But the first one I seen was the Jimmy Neutron movie. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Jimmy Neutron movie. That was in the 7th grade. In the 5th grade, I seen the Rugrats movie. It was either the Rugrats movie or Rugrats Go to Paris. One of those two in the 5th grade. I never got to be involved in sports because there's no adaptive sports around where I live. If you want to do something like that, you gotta travel about 2 hours. Well, that's kind of hard, because I had one Twitter account a couple of years ago, and when I got my iPad, I tried to link them, you know, to my iPad where I could post and sign up on my iPad, but it wouldn't let me, so I had to create a completely new account. But if I can get to my first tweet, I'll put it somewhere on the screen somewhere. Right now I don't have internet access, so I can't look it up, but I'll put it on the screen somewhere in here. I remember what it was. It was one of my senior year pictures. One of the shots that I took for my senior year. I can't show you because, like I said, I don't have internet, but I'll post it somewhere in here where you can see when I do get the internet. I actually don't have any piercings. Just never really been my thing. I've wanted to get my ears pierced for a couple of years, but I've always decided against it, just from personal preference. Who knows, maybe one day I will, but as of right now, I don't have any piercings. That was the last question. I will copy and paste these questions down below if you want to do them. I tag Brittany and my friend here on YouTube, whose name is Melissa. Her YouTube name is Revel and Romance. It used to be David's Cupcake. I've got to get used to that. But I'll tag you two to do this, and I don't know, hopefully this will be up Thursday when my internet comes back, and then I'll try to upload one on Saturday to keep with my 2 uploads, so fingers crossed I get it back. And I'm also going to see my urologist on the day that this will be uploaded, which is Thursday. And I'll try to do a health update with my IC soon, depending on what the doctor says. So just keep me in your prayers. Thanks for watching. Bye.